Hi, friends. Day 57, A Path of Purpose. And tonight I just want to come on and I'm so thankful that friends from my Johnny and Friends connections came on and encouraged me last night. Actually, I was encouraged today when I saw that they connected with my video from last night. So it just got me to thinking more about the topic of stepping into someone else's shoes, especially those families with special needs. Um, so, hmm, I don't know if I can talk about this without crying, but one thing I didn't talk about last night was um, in the midst of the difficulty of having a child with special needs. One thing that we don't think about, and I ended up talking to a mom about it several years ago. Um, she only had one child, and that child was born with cystic fibrosis, and they were limited in their ambulation, and um, they they basically would never have, quote, what we would think of as a normal adult life. And what I realized as I was talking to this mom is that she would never be a grandmother, and she would never have the joy of watching her son walk down the aisle and the joy of seeing her son graduate from college. And I realized that I just took all those things for granted. So, and as we talked about it, the mom just looked at me and said, "Wow, Shar, thank you for even realizing the pain of that as a mom with with a child with disability and an only child." And that's not the you know having an only child with a disability isn't uncommon either. um, when a family has a firstborn that has a disability, they often decide not to go on and have another child. I even have friends who their first child was born with a disability and died shortly thereafter. And then I believe a second child, and then a third child who lived, until they were two, I think. But the pain of that finding out and realizing that each one, that because of your own gene uh, um, uh, issues, right? So what happened was these this couple together, they were only able to create um, children with a disability, and how painful that was. Well, the other piece that's painful that I found myself thinking about today is oftentimes, like in this case, a child gets put into care in a group home because the parents are aging. And so, what oftentimes happens is then that child is left without any family, without any family connections. And if there are family connections, oftentimes those connections are lost. Um, I remember seeing a video called "Where Did Molly Go?" And you can look it up on YouTube. I think it is "Where is Molly?" actually. Where is Molly? And it was about um, a brother who had a younger sister, and all of a sudden, his younger sister wasn't there. And he was probably, if I remember right, 5, and his younger sister was probably 3, and he probably came home from school. I can't remember the details, but I remember just bringing me to tears because he didn't know where his little sister went. And I don't even know what his parents, I don't recall what his parents said to him, but after his parents died, he found evidence that his sister had been put into a state funded facility. And actually, he ends up finding her. But that's not common, right? Many times, families, because they're disconnected or because they were never told where their family member was taken, they don't know how to reconnect. And so after the parents pass, it's like there's this gap, right? And so then the sad part of that is then when the individual that's in the group home gets sick and passes, they pass with no family. They only pass with people in their lives who have been their caregivers, and and obviously those caregivers love them and have provided amazing care over the years, but just the realization that there was no family members there is so difficult. Um, so these are things you don't think about unless you work in the field and you start seeing the pain that families experience that you don't know anything about, right? And so I would so appreciated Rochelle connecting today, and she tagged friends and connections that I made through Johnny and Friends at the family camp the last couple years. And those connections, even though we don't live in the same state and we don't communicate, we're still connected heart to heart. When I see their posts online, I smile and respond, and it's just those little things that make a difference. It makes a difference when we connect and we support and encourage each other. So again, you know, who who are the people in your life or in your sphere of influence that have special needs in their family? Um, and how can you make a difference? Um, Today I talked to a gal that she needs support and loved ones and family in her life. And I wish that I just had all the resources um, in my account that I could just make a difference. And yet it gives me opportunity to dream and anticipate how I can make a difference. And that it doesn't matter how old you are, right? It doesn't matter if you're 80 or 25. Um, that we can make a difference with where we're at, and um, and in just little ways make a difference. So I appreciate you guys coming on. I appreciate the connections God's given me and continues to give me. And I truly look forward to the rest of the year and the many years to come to see how the Lord works in and through my life to continue to make a difference, right? Um, I think it's going to be beyond all that I could ask or think, right? Too often we have dreams and visions and we think that's impossible, but with God, all things are possible. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me, and we'll be talking tomorrow. Bye.